Divya in 3, 2.
My intro can be a little wobbly because I'm still trying to accommodating a lot of info. We can reshoot it also, na? Baad mein, please.
It's easier when somebody has only one skill. You are a mixture.
Yeah, like too many things. How do we do justice to your
I need to
intro?
hire you as my manager. Oh my God, Shah Rukh Khan has been my biggest crush since I was 4 years old.
You're 4 years old?
Yes, he's been my biggest crush. I wanted to get married to him.
I hope Gauri Khan is listening to this. Is there a dialogue of Shah Rukh that you absolutely love and you can, recite like the back of your hand?
Sif Tamari.
Oh, too good. If we were passing your audition, we would just give you the role.
Give it to me! That's what I've been telling Bollywood, just give me a role.
Good, na? Too cool. Very good. At 6 feet 1 inch, she's probably one of India's tallest supermodels in the country. In fact, she even intimidated the Shah Rukh Khan. We are talking of Reha Sukheja, who's worked with some of the top brands in the country, some of the top designers in the country, and she even made a foray into films. Join me in welcoming Reha Sukheja to the Rediff Podcast. Reha, welcome to the Rediff Podcast.
Thank you, Divya. It's wonderful being here.
Thank you. So Reha, tell us, how did this journey into modeling happen? You were an economics student, if I'm not wrong?
Correct.
How did you decide to become a model?
I didn't decide, my mom decided for me.
Oh!
Yeah. So she was a model when she was younger and she couldn't pursue it because she had very, very strict brothers. And so she wanted that for my brother and me both. She wanted us in front of the camera. So she would keep pushing my elder brother and he would say no and all of that. She got tired of him. So she's like, okay, fine, now let me focus my energies on Reha. And then she knew that I was extremely studious and I had my entire life set, there's full planning done that I'm going to study and I'm going to do my BA in economics and then I'm going to get into management and then shadi by 28, first kid by 31, the entire planning was done. And so she knew that nothing would push me in front of the camera. I hated modeling. I hated acting. It's something that I never, ever wanted to do. Even though I loved Bollywood and I love watching films, I didn't see myself in front of the camera, ever. So I remember I was studying in Pune, in Ferguson, and she came to visit me. She had gone with Dad. Dad had a business trip in Bombay. So she went along with him. Very slyly, she sent my pictures for Miss India. She's not told me anything till then. I've gotten selected. Once I got selected, she comes to Pune. She sits me down and she's like, Reha, I need to talk to you. Please don't freak out. Just listen. And then she told me, she's like, you've been selected and this is for Miss Universe India and they're calling you to Bombay. And I lost my mind. I was like, we had, I think the biggest mother-daughter fight we've ever had was in Pune on that day. And I'm like, how could you do this to me? And you know what my plan is. And, this is not something that I want to pursue and things like that. This was your dream. This is not my dream. And I don't want to do this. And finally, she gave up and she called them. She said, no, Reha does not want to do it. And we were on our way. We were driving back to Hyderabad, Dad, Mom, and me. And Mom's like, are you sure? And I'm like, yes, I'm sure. Make the call. So she made the call. And she's like, no, I'm sorry, but we won't make it. Reha is just not interested. And then they said that, we're sorry to hear that, but Sushmita Sen really wanted to meet her. And then Mom repeated that and I was like, what? Sushmita wants to meet me. But still, now I'm a teenager, right? So I'm just like, no, I've already said no and I fought for this and all that. I'm like, no, I still don't want to do it. Then they said, then Mom's like, she's telling me that there's 2 weeks of the training is in Italy. I was like, what? So she literally, she's my mom. She knows me. She knows how much I adore Sushmita Sen. She knows how much I love traveling. So she hit me on those 2 points. And then I was like, put the phone down. And I was like, Italy, 2 weeks? Maybe it's something that I could give it a shot. Let's just see. And then, so we reached Hyderabad, and then I changed my mind because I really, really wanted to travel. I really wanted to meet Sushmita Sen. So I was like, okay, fine. I don't care about a pageant. I am not that girl. But if I have to go and participate, and these two things come true, then great. Went to Hyderabad and told Dad that, we want to go. Flew to Bombay, and the rest is history.
Wow, what a story. Who would believe that, someone who didn't want to even start with modeling has, chosen to, and you represented India, and you were, if I'm not wrong, you were the first runner-up?
Yeah, but I didn't represent India because that year, I think the pageant, Miss Universe India pageant got separated from Times, and Sushmita Sen, she took it under her wing. And so the I Am She pageant, the Miss Universe India pageant, only the winner went and represented India in Miss Universe India, but the runners-up didn't. There was no other pageant that we would go to, how there was Asia Pacific and World, because that, I think the Times winners were still going for that.
Right. What was the experience like for you?
Oh my God.
How did you really groom and prepare yourself?
I was a different person. I don't think, I didn't prepare. There was no preparation. I was raw as raw can be. I was an 18 or a 19-year-old girl who had never walked in heels in her life, ever, because I'm so tall, right? So I'm just like, I've never needed to wear heels. And now suddenly you want me to wear heels, you want me to get into a gown, you want me to wear a bikini, you want me to pose. And I was just like, who is this? I am not this person. I was a tomboy. I would be in my loose shirts and shorts or, jeans, and that's how I dressed. So now suddenly going from that person to to a pageant where girls are already properly dressed, some have prior modeling experience, they know how to do their hair, they know how to do their makeup. I don't know anything. So I just felt like a fish out of water amongst all those contestants, because I'm just like, okay, I'm a misfit, I don't belong here, this is not my space, I don't know what I'm doing here. But during that course of 1.5 months that we trained, it completely changed my perspective on so many things. I learned meditation during that time. I learned, my workout and my sense of workout completely changed because of our trainers. Our sessions with Sushmita Sen were something that we look forward to every day. A ramp walk was with Miss Lubna Adam. So we had the best of the best teaching us. And I used to dread my sessions with Lubna. Dread. We had 3 hours of ramp walk with her and Kavita, and I was, I think, the worst student, and I would get yelled at all the time. And I would be like,
for what?
Because I couldn't walk. I couldn't ramp walk, and I was terrible on heels. And there were girls who would be strutting in front of me and all of that, and they'd be the star students, and I'm like, oh God, and she'd keep yelling. And she's like, your expression, your walk, your shoulders, your neck, and I was just like, I'm not built for this. Mujhe nikalo yahan se, mujhe nahi rehna yahan pe. So it's, my God, I feel like Lubna is someone that I feel like as if, when you see potential, she saw the potential in me way, way, way before I did. And I feel like that's why she grilled me so hard. Because she knew that I could do it. I didn't realize that. I just thought she's picking on me, and she doesn't like me, and she hates me, and she looks at my face and she just wants to yell at me.
She was like a good teacher.
She was the best teacher. She is my mentor, and she has always been. And if I know how to model, if today I get applauded for the way I walk, and if, designers want me today to walk for their shows, I owe it all to her. Each and everything. She has corrected each posture, each movement of my head, of my shoulder, the way I hold myself up, my expressions, everything.
And what was it like meeting Sushmita Sen?
Oh my God. I was such a fangirl. And I saw her, and I feel like, who we see her, and as a millennial, I'm sure you'll agree that we have, it was a family ritual to sit and watch Miss India, on TV, and to watch Sushmita Sen win, and to watch Aishwarya win, and then Priyanka and Lara, and she has this beautiful aura, right? So when she talks, I feel like as if the room just goes silent, and you want to listen to everything that she's saying, and she speaks so beautifully. I'm like, it's almost scripted the way she speaks. when you meet her, it was nothing less. And we weren't allowed to speak to our family back home. So we were not allowed access to our phones or any of that. So for 1.5 months, there was no communication at all. But that 1 hour with her that we would have every day felt like home. You know, she felt like that presence, that mother for all of us. It was just so calming. Like after the entire day, after getting yelled at by Lubna and after meditating suddenly, then working out somewhere, I think if we would finally just focus our energies when Sushmita would speak, and suddenly we didn't feel alone. Like especially when you're young, you know, when you're 18 or 19 and you're just thrown into like the deep end of this brand new world that you have no idea about and no connection to also. Hers was a very grounding presence for us.
Reha, did the pageant open up new opportunities for you?
It did. So after the pageant and after being one of the winners, I got my first ever show for Narendra Kumar, and it was in Geneva, in Switzerland. And I couldn't believe my eyes. Like I said, right, I love traveling, and Switzerland has been a dream. And so I think I got paid 4,000 rupees for that.
That was huge at that time?
Any amount was huge because I never earned before that, right? So
it was also your first paycheck.
It was my first paycheck. So just to get I didn't even care about the paycheck because I was getting to travel, you know, and that's like one of the perks of our job, right? We get to travel, stay in the best of places and all of that. So it didn't matter whether I was getting paid. Like even if they'd asked me to do it for free, I would have done it. But but I think that was during the World Cup, the Cricket World Cup, where India won that World Cup against Sri Lanka. They played the finals. So we went and watched the first half also at this pub in Geneva, because we had some time in the morning. So then the organizers very sweetly got us India jerseys and all that. And there were Sri Lankans there as well. And we saw the first half. In the second half, we were rehearsing. So I was sending messages, and messages back then were really expensive. And there's no WhatsApp or any of that. So I remember spending like 200 rupees per message. And I was texting my friends back home, asking them for updates on the match. And they're like, Sachin got out, Sehwag's got out. I was like, what's happening? And we're rehearsing and we're getting updates of the match. And it was a crazy, crazy time. And I think eventually the match ended while the show was on. So we had no idea that India had won. And then when the show got over and we came to know, we celebrated like India celebrated back here.
Tell us about your first runway experience. First time walking on the ramp.
First time walking on the ramp was in the pageant. Are you talking about in the pageant?
Yes, yes.
Okay. In the pageant, I remember even in the auditions for the Miss Universe India pageant, I walked on the ramp and I was scared because they put me in like these 4 or 5 inches heels. And my foot size also is really big. It's 42. So I don't get my size easy. So I think Mom and I went to Bandra and I went to one of these local shops. We got a pair of heels for me. And I did my first walk for Lubna and Sushmita, and I couldn't walk, and I was trembling. Like you could see, like there was a physical reaction that my body was having, and like I was shaking. And they're like, "Why are you so scared? What is the worst that could happen?" And I'm like, "I could fall," because the ramp was also up high, and I was just so scared because they'll say, "Okay, take a turn and go back," and I'll fall off because I'm not used to wearing heels at all. So going from that to the pageant where they trained us, and then during the pageant we got an opportunity, like 10 of us got an opportunity to walk in a fashion show. It was a very small fashion show, but the fact that I was selected after getting yelled at and screamed at, so it just showed to me the progress that I had made, during the pageant itself. And then after that, I feel like by the time the pageant was aired and it was live in NCPA in South Bombay, and Mom and Dad came, and my best friend was there, and they saw me walk in a sari. Mom's never seen me walk in a sari, and she see me walk in a sari and in heels with my contestant number 26 over here, and I'm walking, and Mom's like, "Who is that? That's not my daughter." She was like bold, like completely blown away. She couldn't believe who she was seeing and the transformation that had occurred in that 1 month.
But she was definitely happy.
Very happy. That was her dream. That was her dream more than mine.
Okay, but how did you come to accept the fact that, you want to be a model now?
It took me actually, when opportunities started to come my way post the pageant as well, I was taking it. But I don't think I had fully aligned myself with this new career. It just happened, right? It just started flowing. And with everything in my life, that's exactly how I feel like as if my life has happened, even though I was someone who planned everything. Nothing has ever worked according to plan. Everything has just flown from one place to the other. So even when Ramp happened, I started saying yes. Then Lakme Fashion Week happened, and that's where we met.
Yes.
And even then, after getting selected, it was a huge deal getting selected for Lakme Fashion Week. So I took it up. But it was not something that I wanted to do. It wasn't my dream. I was just doing it because, okay,
But you didn't stop really, right? I mean,
I didn't stop, but I remember there was a lot of times where I would speak to mom and I'd speak to dad and I'd be like, I don't know if this is something that I want to do. And she's like, while you're unsure, do it. And then if later on you decide that this is not something that you want to do, stop. That's absolutely fine. But she's like, just see where this takes you. And so I continued it, even though I was a little unsure. Also, I didn't have friends in the industry. When I started, there were not a lot of girls who were my age. So all of them were much senior. And even though they were senior, they were extremely sweet, like Candy, Deepthi, all of these guys. I've seen their work and I've always loved them, on screen and looked up to them. And I always thought they'll have like some sort of an ego, and they wouldn't speak to me and they wouldn't be helpful, but it was just the opposite. They were extremely kind and extremely welcoming of someone who was new. But even having said that, I didn't have friends.
So is it because of who you are as a person or the industry is such?
I feel like as if because everyone was a little older than I was, because of the age, I couldn't find someone to connect with. They were all extremely sweet. So I'd go to work, I would, have a good show and I would come back home. But there wasn't someone that I connected with.
Like you could go and have fun, like a girls' night out.
Get a girls' night out, or even like if we're at work and we're chilling and we're talking about things other than fashion and other than modeling and things like that. And that came, I think, after about a year when a couple of girls came from Bangalore. And I don't know what it is, but I feel like as if I just naturally connect with South Indians. Maybe it's my time in Hyderabad that I've spent. But I think when the girls came in from Bangalore, from Chennai, from Hyderabad, I just connected with them more. There was more ease when I spoke to them. And then fashion started becoming fun. Fun.
Okay. Yeah. What are some of the things that people don't know about the modeling industry? People always usually associate modeling with something that's glamorous, high fashion. But how is it behind the stage?
Oh my God.
We've seen the chaos, obviously.
Yes.
We've seen the madness.
You've seen the chaos firsthand.
Yes.
So it is while in front, it is glamorous and it is high fashion and it is everything that you see. Backstage is a whole lot of work. It's long hours put in, not just by the models, by the choreographers, by the backstage team. It takes a village to put on a fashion show. It truly, truly does. And I feel like as if you don't see that bit, where including the hair and makeup artists who play such a massive role. So I feel like as if you don't see the work that goes behind as an audience, but you just see the result, which looks so easy. And we're like, oh my God, what do you do? Like a lot of my friends also back in Hyderabad, school friends, they'd be like, oh, you to work for a living. And I was just like, wow, you just put like 15 years of my career and you're like, kya karti hai tu? Chalti to hai. But because they have no idea of the amount of work that goes in. And from the fittings, like for us models and backstage, it's from, actually not even backstage, for us models, it starts from, fittings, where we meet the designer, the design team and the choreographer and the backstage team and we come together and we do fittings for the show. Then depending on whether the show is, say, in a banquet hall, like how you usually see, like the Fashion Week and all of these fashion weeks, or whether it's an outdoor show where it's probably the backdrop is, say, a Falaknuma palace, So depending on that, the logistics change. And then we have like extensive rehearsals, which sometimes go on till like maybe 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock in the night, because also for the bigger shows like Manish or Abu Jani and Sandeep, they have a lot of models. They do shows on such a scale that the rehearsals also go on forever, and like just to have 100 models walk on ramp once takes forever. Mm-hmm. Now you're rehearsing, now there's choreography involved, suddenly there are dancers involved in between. So
Who's the most fun choreographer in the sense, who's the most fun designer also to work with?
Choreographer or designer?
Both.
Lubna. Okay. Lubna is my favorite choreographer. I mean, even though she is my mentor and she was my teacher and I was terrified of her, and I think, if I'm being honest with you, I still am a little bit terrified of her.
She still schools you.
Yeah. Because she has, I feel like once a teacher, always a teacher. So she always does that. But what I love about her is that she's one of the few or maybe the only choreographer today who will correct your walk. Who will tell you what to do differently, who will help you grow. If she's yelling at you, it's not because she has something against you. It's because she wants you to do better. Because she sees that you can do better. There is no one else in today's day that actually help models or groom models to walk better. The newer lot have no teachers.
Right.
Yeah.
And in terms of designers.
Manish Malhotra. In fact, I'll tell you this fun story where during the pageant, after we won, I would go to Bandra every day from Andheri. I was staying in Andheri with one of the contestants. And I would go to Bandra every day for my workouts. And I remember around Link Road at a signal, I was in a rickshaw. And we were stopped at a signal. And right in front of me was Manish. Manish Malhotra was there in his car. And I just turned around, I saw him, and I'm like, oh my God, because he is someone who's akin to a movie star. He has that celebrity status as a designer. And I saw him and I was like, and I don't know why, it's not something that I ever do, but I'm like, one day I'm going to work for him and one day he is going to know my name. And I never do this. And I've never done this till late.
You manifested it in that
I just
moment.
did. And it's just something that came out of me. I have never said something like this before. I've never said something like this after. I just said it on that day and I went. And even I was a little shocked at what I'd said. And I just let it be. And then the first fashion week that I booked after the pageant was in October 2011. It was a bridal fashion week. And Manish Malhotra was the finale designer. And so when I finally met him and I walked for him, I was shivering. I was actually scared because I feel like as if the more you want something, the scarier it is. And then you don't want to ruin it. You want to put your best foot forward and you want to work with this person more. And right after I finished the ramp and I came back and I was coming backstage to change, he saw me outside and he's like, you were lovely. We should work together. And he turned to his manager and he take her number. And that was that. That was the highlight of that fashion week.
But that was also the start of a beautiful friendship that you all share today.
Yes, 100%. He is one of my closest friends in the industry.
What makes him such a, fashion favorite?
He is, because he loves what he does. He loves his job. He loves clothes. And you can see it in all of the movies that, we love watching, all the Karan Johar movies and everything that he has, even Rangila. You can see his love for clothes translate on screen. If everything that he does becomes a fad later on, it's because of the effort that goes into what he does. And he personally, I feel like, oversees each and everything. He's a Manish Malhotra. He doesn't need to do that. He has an entire team working for him. But he personally takes an interest in each and every garment that goes out there. And I feel like, honestly, I don't think I know anyone who works harder than he does.
And
it's so inspiring.
And who's the most challenging designer to work with?
Oh,
the
gosh.
tough taskmaster.
I feel like as if everyone, in some sense, is, you'd call them tough because they're extremely particular about what they want.
Absolutely.
And I don't necessarily find that a bad thing. Because I'm like that. So Manish is very particular about what he wants. And, because friendship aside, work is work. At work, you don't want to compromise. I don't want to compromise. So he's extremely particular. Sunit Verma is extremely particular. I think Anamika Khanna is extremely particular. Gaurav Gupta. I feel like most designers.
And off the ramp, who are the designers whose clothes you'd love to, collect?
Manish Malhotra, Abujani, Sandeep Khosla, Anamika Khanna, Gaurav Gupta for sure, Gavin Miguel, Gauri Nanika. My God, so many designers. Anju Modi. I think I can go on.
It's a question I'm sure.
I mean, if I had enough space, we live in Bombay and we live in like literally matchboxes. But if there was wardrobe space, I feel like as if I would want one piece from every designer.
Every designer.
Yeah.
Right. Is there a show where you, kind of walked and you didn't kind of like the outfit, but you still had to kind of, carry it off?
I didn't like the outfit.
Yeah.
That has happened multiple times. Multiple times. But it's our job. It's our job to carry off whatever outfit is given to us the best way that we can. There have been a lot of times, because the thing is, when you work with designers who are not only great at what they do, but also there is like this attention to detail in terms of like Tarun Tahiliani. You will not find better finishing than his clothes. It's like sometimes even if you flip the clothes over, there is that finishing is just as great as what's on the outside. So there is no part of the garment that's going to hurt you. It's not going to itch. It's not going to scratch you. It's none of that. And you face all of that, right? When you wear Indian wear. So when you work with these designers who are at the top of their game, but also not slacking in any which way. So when there is, say, a newer designer who comes in, and if their clothes are not up to their mark, their finishing is not up to the mark, it's just very disheartening. Because I'm like, if they can do it, you can definitely do it. And then on the ramp, honestly, as like newer models, not now, but when I had started off, even if the finishing is bad, you trip on the ramp, the choreographer comes and yells at you, right? Because you didn't carry off the garment well. But it's not about the fact that the designer constructed the garment in such a way where the model could not walk and she tripped and her heels got stuck in it. But no excuses.
But you do have your rehearsals, right?
We do have our rehearsals, but they're not dress rehearsals. So we rehearse in our own garments. And sometimes what happens is that we have a fittings, which is like a couple of days prior to the show. And then once the alterations are done, and the garments are fitted to every specific body, and the alterations are done, by the time the garment comes, sometimes the garment doesn't come in the morning of the show, sometimes it comes a little late, comes towards the evening. And then when you wear the garment, thinking that the alterations are done, and say, for example, for me, a garment is short, they need to add more length. But instead of adding 2 inches, they've added 6 inches. And now I've put my heels on and I'm trying to walk and I'm tripping. The choreographer's like, don't hold the garment. That's not the walk, because every show has a mood that you need to follow, right? So sometimes you'll see us smiling, sometimes you'll see us straight absolutely and no smile, and sometimes there'll be extremely strong walks. And so in such a show, say, for example, if it's a very strong walk, and then they say, don't hold the garment, but now the garment is extremely long. Now what do I do? Even if I'm like, we have our little tricks that we do where we kick and walk, If there's a gown or a dress and if it's really heavy and if there are too many layers, we just kick and walk. Even if you're kicking and walking, it's too long and it's getting stuck. So you have to hold it, but then you can't hold it because the choreographer told you not to. So there are so many things going inside like the mind of a model while on ramp, even though she looks extremely serene and she looks like as if nothing can faze her. There's like constant connections, like there's a Sherlock-like mapping happening inside. It's crazy.
But when you have multiple shows, Reha, how do you really prepare yourself? Like there may be more than 3 shows we've seen, back-to-back shows.
In Fashion Week especially.
In Fashion Week, yeah. How do you go through that rigor? How do you prepare yourself, physically and mentally to, for the Fashion Week? Fashion
Week is very hectic. I feel like as if earlier also when I started, I was very excited because I was getting to do it. So I would wake up like that, and then I would like do a little bit of crunches or something like that in the morning and have breakfast, and I'd go straight to work. And you had that energy to go about the day, and you were excited about all the shows that was happening, even though it was hectic. Now I don't wake up and work out. I prioritize my sleep. So especially during Fashion Week, we barely get to sleep for maybe 5 hours or 6 hours every day. And then we have to go back to work. Again, it's a 17, 18-hour day that we do. And we need to sleep, we need to be fresh, we need to look our best, right? And that's impossible when you're working so hard, and it's impossible when you're barely getting sleep and when you're tired, and then you have to go back and put makeup, and you're putting makeup on your face every day, and you're taking it off every day, then you're changing the makeup, like suddenly from like a black smoky eye for the first show, we're going into a clean girl look for our second show, and then suddenly there's a glitter look in the third show where our entire face is full of glitter, and the last show is again a clean girl aesthetic, where we're going and we're washing our entire face down, and we're in the sink of the hotel, washroom sometime, washing our hair. And so it's extremely hectic and tiring. And I feel like throughout this entire journey of mine, 15 years, I've grown a lot as well. So earlier I would get faced by a lot of things. If someone was yelling at me, for example, I'd feel like, oh my God, this is so unfair, why are they doing it? And I would hold it in much longer. And then I would probably take that onto my next show. And I felt that was again very unfair, because what they don't realize is when they do it, they're still backstage, and they're still behind the scenes, but it's the model who comes in front of the camera and who has to walk the show. Earlier, I remember once where I got yelled at right before entering. And there was a little sort of a mask-like thing in front of me, and I walked in for this show. And halfway down the ramp, there was a slight tear in my eye. And that day, I posed, I came back, and that day I told myself, I'm like, never again. I am not taking my emotions onto the ramp ever again. I am not letting anything faze me again.
But it's definitely not easy.
It's not easy. It's not easy at all. But you have to keep your emotions in check, because you're anyways physically being groomed for so many hours. Mentally also, if you're being groomed, then there is no way that you can survive a fashion week, let alone this industry. So at some point, you have to cut off and be like, I'll deal with this later, not now. Right now, I need to focus on my work, and then come back and then maybe speak to the person, who has upset you and who you've had a tiff with backstage and things like that. But not to carry those emotions onto the ramp is something that has taken me years also. And I feel like I started young. So now that I'm in my 30s, it's much more easier for me to deal with my emotions also as a human being. Forget about as a model.
True. Does modeling really take a toll on your body? Because you do so many things, you apply so many chemicals on your hair, on your face. Yeah. So how do you really stay healthy and, protect your body?
It takes a toll on our body for sure, on our skin, on our hair. I feel like as if every model, like as you see her, the longer she stays in the industry, I feel like as if her hairline also starts to recede because the amount of times they pull our hair tight into those high buns and those high ponytails, and we have to be like that the entire day. It's not even like we're doing it for just 1 hour or 2 hours. Like I'm sure a lot of people have a lot of things that they do. For me, I keep it very, very, very simple. Because there are so many chemicals that go on our face on a daily basis, when I'm not working, I barely put makeup. You will not see me in makeup. My skin routine also is extremely simple. It's just moisturizer, sunscreen, like face wash, moisturizer, sunscreen, and that's it. I don't have that 20-step routine and 30-step routine. It's not something that I've ever done. And I think I'm also very lazy to do something like that. But I feel like having I've gone to a dermat and she's given me a bunch of creams, and I've tried to do that to some level. I won't say like extreme level, but maybe like those 4 or 5 creams and all of that. But for me, I feel less is more. The lesser I do, the better my skin responds. Just whatever you put into your body is extremely important, more than what you put on your body, right? So you can put all your 20,000 creams, but if you're not feeding your body, healthily from the inside, then it's never going to translate.
Right.
on the outside.
Reha, you're from Kolkata.
Hanji.
And you have been to, some of the top places, in India, abroad, and you've seen food, right? And how do you resist food as a model? I mean, how does this self-control come?
Oh gosh, it's something that is now just like, it's a part of our life, it's a part of our routine, it's what we have to do. We have to stay in shape. We can say that, love me for who I am and not for the way I look, but this industry is about the way you look, whether you like it or not. So then don't become a model if that's your thought process. So we need to stay fit. And that is our homework that we do as models, right? Taking care of our skin, our hair, and our health, and our body.
Has it happened that you've seen something so tempting?
Then I've gone for it. I have never denied myself anything, ever. If there is a project coming up and, if I haven't had the time to, like for example, March right now is extremely busy. I didn't have the time to work out. So when I don't have the time to work out, then I probably start having 2 meals a day as opposed to 3 meals a day. Because somewhere I feel like as if I need to cut down. If I'm not working out, then I need to cut down on the number of calories I'm taking in the day. But even then, on a hectic day when I'm extremely tired and I don't have the energy, and in the lunch buffet I see a gulab jamun, I'll go for it. If it's garam, I'll go for it.
Okay. As a model, what are some of the sacrifices you had to make?
The sacrifice is food, for sure.
What do you miss eating as a model?
I miss eating whatever I want, whenever I want. That's what I miss eating. It's not like I don't crave pizza every day. I don't crave burgers every day. I don't crave sweets every day. But I know that now what I eat depends on what my month looks like and what my next show is and where I have to go next. So there are a lot of times where we can even go to the best of hotels, and they have a massive spread, and I just have to walk past the dessert counter and not even look at it and go straight for the salad counter or go straight for the grilled chicken because I'm wearing an extremely tight gown or I'm wearing like a really tiny choli and my entire midriff is going to be seen. And anyways, as women, as you definitely know, our hormones go
haywire.
Oh my God. And as you grow older, it's no longer what we eat, but suddenly one hormone goes off and you started to put on weight and you don't know what's happening. Then you start trying to figure out whether it's something I've eaten. Is it because of a test? Is it because of a hormone? Then you start doing tests. Then you go to your gynac. Then you're going to your dermat and you're like, what is happening? So I feel like as women, we really have it tough. And then being a model on top of that is even more hectic because you always have to be on top of your weight. You need to keep it in check. You need to be fit. And so when life starts to throw these things at you, it gets extremely stressful. Like maybe for you, because you work at Rediff, you wouldn't be so stressed about it. You're like, okay, fine, I'll just wear something a little looser today. But I don't have that option because I'll go to work and say, for example, if I don't get into an outfit, they'll be like, oh my God, you've put on weight. And they might not book me for my next show. So then that stress comes in. Then your cortisol level goes up. And that stress makes you put on more weight. So it's like a vicious cycle. Yeah.
Yeah. And a very important question that, I wanted to ask is, when you take so much of effort to stay as a model, and then you see actors, come on stage and then, take the limelight away from you, how does it feel?
I don't think they take the limelight away from me.
That's a good attitude to have.
I feel like as models, and now I truly, truly, truly love what I do. Like in the beginning, like I said, I wasn't too sure about this field. But then when I started to enjoy my craft, I really started to enjoy the stage. I don't think you can take the limelight from a model at all because no one is more at home than a model on a ramp. So I understand that you need actors from a commercial aspect, from selling your clothes, because if an Alia Bhatt wears a particular Manish Malhotra outfit, tomorrow he's going to probably have 200 orders of the same thing, as opposed to when I wear something, So I understand that from a marketing and a commercial aspect and why they need to be on the ramp. But I feel like what I would definitely want to convey to actors would be that respect the ramp, okay? Because that is our home. if a model is, acting in a movie, the first thing that would be asked of them or demanded of them or expected of them is that they learn the craft, right? No model can randomly just go and be a part of a film. They need to know how to act. And it's the same thing. Learn it. It's not difficult. You can do it. And whatever, you're wearing that one garment, you know what garment you're going to wear. So just maybe practice a little, rehearse a little in it. And that's what, like, when you see a Deepika, when you see a Malaika, when you see an Anushka, when they walk, there's a different presence. I mean, they have been ex-models, so they know what they're doing on the ramp. But what I love about Ananya Pandey, for example, is that she has taken that effort and you can see it. So now when she walks, it's pleasure sharing the stage with her. As opposed to some actors who'll come and who'll just be tripping in their garments and,
dancing maybe.
I don't know. And it's just strange. So some of them really do some strange things on the ramp. And now they're influencers as well, and they take the stage as well. And I tell them the same thing. Learn the craft. Just come and, maybe take a model aside and ask them, like, this is the garment that I'm wearing. What do you think I should do?
Among the male and female actors, who have some of the best walks on stage?
Best walks, Malaika, Deepika. I'm going to take all ex-models only,
Absolutely.
I think. Katrina, Priyanka.
Anyone from the influencers who has a good stage presence, like a runway presence?
No, none that come to mind. I don't think I've seen too many influencers walk. Like they've been a part of the show, but I have not seen their walk. So I can't comment on that. No, not the influencers. And then I love like Ranveer Singh with the way he walks. I feel like he has a great presence on the ramp as well. Shah Rukh Khan.
Tell us about your experience, meeting Shah Rukh Khan as a contestant and, working with him in Jawan.
Oh my God. Shah Rukh Khan has been my biggest crush since I was 4 years old. Since I saw Bazigar.
You're 4 years old?
Yes. He's been my biggest crush. I wanted to get married to him.
I hope Gauri Khan is listening to this.
And I remember even Bazigar when he played the villain and he died. I don't think I've cried harder than I have after that movie. I was bawling. And my mom's looking at me. She's like, the villain has passed away. Why is she crying so much? She's like, something's wrong with my daughter. And then I remember when I was young, my concept of marriage was that whoever you get married to, you get to spend the rest of your life with them. So first I wanted to get married to my brother. And then mom's like, no. There is more to this than just spending the rest of your life with this person. So brother is someone that you can't marry. So I said, okay, fine, I can't marry him. I said, okay. I'm like, who's the next person I want to marry? Who would I want to spend the rest of my life with? And then I saw Shah Rukh and that was it. And I'm like, it's Shah Rukh Khan. Then I came to know, I think after a couple of years, that he was married. And I was extremely upset. I was so disappointed. And I was completely heartbroken. I think I was all of 6 or 7. And I was like, I can't believe this. And I'm like, who is this woman that he's married to? And why is he not married to Kajol? It only makes sense that he and Kajol should be married. Why is he married to Gauri? Who is she? And there was no Instagram. There was nothing back then. So we didn't know who they were. And since then, I have only loved one person in Bollywood, and that has been Shah Rukh Khan and even Kajol. They've been my favorites. And I remember even in Calcutta, he had come for the promotion of Ahsoka. And he was in this place called Swabhumi, and I went and I took my first autograph from him. And I think he was wearing lenses in that movie because he was wearing lenses during that this thing as well, during the signing. And I've gone back and I've written in my diary, and I'm like, oh my God, his eyes are so green, they're so beautiful. Like I want to swim in them. And I read those diaries today, and I'm like, oh my God, I was so starstruck with Shah Rukh. He was and still is my absolute favorite. So when even forward to the pageant, when he announced the last 5, I'm like, I want to be in the top 5 just because I want to go meet him on stage. And then he announced my name, and I feel like as if everything the audience just went blank. I was looking at my parents for the longest time when I was on stage. They went completely blank. There was no one else on stage. It was just him and me. And it was so surreal just having met him. Like, I couldn't believe my fate, honestly, having met him. But again, having said that, I am someone it wouldn't matter if you were a Shah Rukh Khan sitting over here or if you were my best friend sitting over here. I would talk to you the same way. If you start talking to me, I'll start speaking to you the exact same way. Like, the way I speak is not going to change. And so when he started asking me questions and I was giving my replies are very quick. And if it's humor as well, like, I'll be sarcastic and I'll do that. And when I started doing that with Shah Rukh, like, I've literally, like, my brain went into a dizzy after that. And I was like, did I just say that to Shah Rukh Khan? I was like, shut off. Filter. Please filter. Because I remember where he's like, give me some tips on how to grow tall and how to stay this thing. And I was like, I'm sorry, but you've gone past that age where you can grow any taller. And I was like, did I just say that to Shah Rukh Khan in front of a live audience on a live telecast?
You trying to be cool?
I wasn't. But it was me at 19 being brutally honest, and it's still who I am. I would still say that, and it wouldn't matter who I was saying that to. Yeah, I said that to Shah Rukh Khan, but I got to meet him. Yeah. And then he very, very sweetly asked me for a kiss on his forehead. Yeah. And then, like, I bent down from my 4 or 5 inches of heels that I was wearing. And I gave him a kiss on his forehead. And that was I think that was the greatest moment of my life.
Okay. Reha, is there a dialogue of Shah Rukh that you absolutely love and you can, recite like the back of your hand?
Oh my God. There's so many. Like, my brain is going to a tizzy now because so many. But there is one from Kabhi Khushi Kabhi Gum where he's sitting with Laddu on the bench when he's going off to, I think, school or boarding school or college. No, boarding school, I think. And he says, "Zindagi mein agar kuch panna ho, kuch hasil karna ho, to hamesha apni dil ki suno. Aur agar dil se awaaz na aaye, to apni aankhein band karke apni maa aur baba ka naam lo. फिर देखना हर मंजिल पार कर जाओगे, हर मुश्किल आसान हो जाएगी और जीत तुम्हारी होगी, सिर्फ तुम्हारी."
Oh, too good. If we were passing your audition, we would just give you the role.
Give it to me. That's what I've been telling Bollywood. Just give me a role.
Good, not too cool. Very good. And finally, Reha, what are some of the tips or advice that you'd like to give newcomers who want to make a mark in modeling?
I would say learn the craft. I think it's extremely important. What I see now are newer models with a lot of potential, but maybe they don't have access to good teachers. And I would say, even if you don't, and even if you're in a show, please come up to any model, whoever's walk that you like, go ask them for advice, learn from them. There are certain, tricks that we have, certain tricks that I have learned from my seniors, and I still do. Like, from time to time, even if I'm wearing a lehenga or I'm wearing a garment, I would still go up to a Deepti and be like, "What do you think? How should I hold it?" And I'll ask a Candy, like, "How should I pose? And what do you think about this pose in the beginning?" Because you have to constantly want to learn and evolve as a model. And I feel like that is true for any craft that you do. So learn the craft. Stay fit, no excuses. And come with a good attitude. If someone is criticizing you for your walk, then work on it. Don't be so arrogant that you think that, you've got it all and things like that and no one can say anything to you. At the end of the day, we're all working towards one goal, which is putting up a good show. And in that, if you need to correct something, then do it. It's only going to make the show look better. It's only going to make you look better. So don't be arrogant about that. And have a good time, honestly. I mean, there are a lot of things that people will also say, like in every other industry, there are, people in this industry also who will pull you down from time to time. And who will say things to break your confidence. And confidence is easily broken when you're younger. as opposed to now, for example, if someone has to come and say something to me, I'd be like, please go away. Don't talk to me. But when I was younger, I would take it in. I would believe everything everyone would say to me, all the negatives. So I'd say filter out the negatives, focus on just the positive criticism. And if there is something that you can take from it and learn from it, do that, filter out the rest.
Right.
So that is what I would want the young girls to learn, the young girls and boys. I wish it was something that someone had told me when I was younger, but this is something that I have learned over the years. So if that can sort of fast track their confidence, then please take care of yourself.
Reha, you have been so amazing, I have to tell you.
Thank you.
And some of the anecdotes that you share, I'm sure, a lot of millennials can relate to it.
Yeah.
But it's so amazing, simply just, you choose something that your mother, just because your mother told you to do so, and then, stick to it and, come out so bold and successful in this profession. It's not easy.
Yeah.
So hats off to you.
Thank you.
And really thank you for coming over and sharing your story with all of us. I'm sure all of our readers and viewers will, enjoy this podcast.
Here's hoping. Thank you for having me. This was a blast.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you. And we wish you all the very best.
Thank you.